What is up, YouTube? This is your girl Killer Rose. Right now I'm at the gym. Um, Nothing special. Um, it looks like it's a pretty busy night tonight, which is so crazy, especially for like 8:49 at night. So it's insane. Cardio session still. I've been commented on my weight, which is really good. I'm really happy about that. And yes, well, it's not from a friend, but it's from my mom. So I'm really happy that she noticed. But she told me that she loves me regardless. You know, if I want to be a hefty girl, then she'll love me as, as a hefty girl. But I already been hefty, or big most of my life. So it's, for me, I do want to trim down, and I am excited, honestly. I'm not sure what weight I am. Keep saying that I'm 157, but I feel like I work out my butt off to get to this point, and it doesn't feel like I'm 157 pounds. So I don't know, I just gotta keep on striving and work out a little bit harder. And if it's not on the treadmill, it's definitely got to be something else. I feel like it has to be I need to have more muscle, I think, and just do what I do best on the treadmill, but to consistently make that effort to get into weight training, because that is very important. Both are very important things that you have to do, to keep your heart, pumping and healthy. You know, both things are very important. Um, it's interesting. It's interesting why both are equally as important. And if you're looking for, like, for me, it's just to tone rather than competing, in physique. I don't want to be shredded. Of course, a lot of people dream about having a perfect body type, right? But that's not the case for everyone. So my goal here is to trim down the fat. Okay, that's goal one. And to, not to just to look good, but to feel good is the most important thing. And I mean, I received compliments back to back, which I'm really happy about, guys. But I mean, sometimes I can blush a little, right? But no, it's just I don't know how to receive that. I guess I'll say, yeah, thank you for noticing that I'm losing weight, and trying to figure out what kind of other things that I need to do in order to conquer that goal. And it's tough, guys. If you're young, I mean, at least if you're like in your early 20s, mid 20s, I say freaking go for it. Do what you gotta do, because when you're my age, and I hate to say it, okay, someone is looking over here. So no, for me being 30, it is tough. It is very tough when you have life going on, when you're trying to, like, not only just rest after a hard, long days of work, you can just strive and freaking take over the world, basically. Well, not literally. Don't twist my words there. But you can literally take an extra mile to do a lot of things. And now, if I had enough knowledge like I have now than what I had back then, I would have probably made, some more progress. But it's, it's like, thing like, chasing cat and mouse, like you're the cat and you're trying to chase the mouse. You're trying to chase goals and dreams and inspiration. So that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to like figure out how I'm gonna tackle my goal in a healthy manner, because a lot of people do these things twisted, you know. Sometimes they usually take, you know, things that are not healthy for them. Sometimes their own body rejects certain things that they take, and then sometimes in retrospect, you end up having body dysmorphia, and then now you're in the middle of, you know, of not eating meals. And if it's not just one meal, then it's probably none at all, which is not a healthy way to do it. Definitely eat your greens, you know, and your fruits. Definitely try to find a way that you can say, my body is telling me that I am satisfied with my meal for today. Or you know, like, basically you have to tell your body, or your body tells you, that I feel good working out. Continue doing this. And for me, when I hit the treadmill, it gives me that type of dopamine that I cannot explain it to everyone. I would tell them that the reason why I like running is because it gives me that boost of energy. And yeah, sometimes I breathe hard, you know, it's tough, but I love doing that because I love listening to music. Sometimes I have playlists, sometimes I look up at songs, you know. I love to listen to the songs that I play and try to run it on beat. And if you ever, like I said, SOD, right? System of a Down. You could look that up, and if you go on a treadmill and try to, you know, run it by beat, then it's gonna be fast. It's gonna be like, you know, you're on a marathon running, right? So yeah, so, you know, just give that consideration. And sometimes you don't have to go fast too. Sometimes there's songs where it's slow, so you could just jog in place. And that's what I usually do. I usually love to jog in place. You know, sometimes, you know, you have to think what kind of people that you like to see, you know, train. You know, like, you like to see people, other people train, and how they go about their day and what they like to do. Like, for instance, Mike Tyson. I like to see him jog in place, and I'm like, this guy is so unbelievably fast and powerful. What does he do in his time, you know, of like, you know, practicing, or what he considers as a warm-up, and how he, you know, he works out. You know, sometimes you gotta look into these things, and sometimes you don't know which direction you want to go. That's why you research these things. You want to make sure, am I doing this right? Some other guys looking at me. So no. So anyways, what I'm trying to say is that sometimes in the beginning, you don't know which direction you want to take. And so that's why you have to do your research. You know, you're just there trying to cope, basically, on how to grasp what kind of workouts you want to do. You know, do you want to like lift heavy, you know, and do cardio heavy? Do you want to do light cardio and then lift heavy? Or do you want to lift light and heavy cardio? You know, it really depends on what your style of workout is. But, you know, what Greg Doucette would say, freaking move. That's all you gotta do, is to make your body move, and just, you know, go to the gym. You know, it doesn't have to be at a place, at a location that you normally go. Sometimes it could be at a park. In Arizona, I don't advise that because it's how hot it is. It's terrible. Definitely bring water with you. And if you feel like lightheaded and all these other symptoms, can lead to like heat exhaustion and some other crazy things that you just don't want to experience. It's a terrible thing, and yeah, I did come lucky more than once. Don't ever do what I did. Riding in a bike, you gotta take it easy. Same with walking, you gotta take it easy. Some people are more prone to the heat than others. Some people are not meant to be in the heat. Sometimes they feel like, what, Rose, I feel like I'm just gonna pass out because, by God, it's so hot in here. It's like a freaking oven, and like, when are they gonna turn it off? And I'm like, sometimes it can last all the way through October, and or sometimes early November. So my best bet is just to just ride it along. That's all you can do, is just to say, well, I already expected this, and that's just the way it is. Arizona is gonna be Arizona. You don't even know when it's gonna rain, when it's gonna dry out, when it's gonna go the other way. Sometimes it just leaves you hanging. It's so crazy. The weather here is pretty nice. I mean, the monsoon season, I want an actual week of monsoon. Like, I want an actual week of freaking rain and wind. But a lot of people would say, you know what? This past week, because of you saying that, my car just been flooded, Rose. And how dare you say you want rain and wind when I had to pay so much money because of that? And I'm like, you know what? I did not mean to say that. All I just said was it would be nice to have a little tiny drizzle here and there, and wind and clouds, and you could smell the rain, lifting up front, and you could see the cold breeze as it passes by. I want some of that. I want the cold breeze. I want it to rain, either if it's in summer or early January. That's all I want. I want a cold breeze, rain, that type of a deal, not like a whole chaotic storm that wipes the streets with floods and stuff. No. That's why I gotta be careful what I say. People take it out of context and then they twist what I have to say. But no. So anyways, that's I jumped to another topic. But yeah, definitely take the time to work out. Definitely find your own way of a routine. And hold on, I want to make sure it's 9:02, guys. I know it's been a while. It's like 13 minutes. Usually I can go on longer, but no, definitely take the time to work out. Definitely find a new way that you can bring into the table. But yeah, that's my number one goal. It's not to get shredded, but to trim down the fat, and that's it. Lose weight. That's just a goal. That's just one goal, is to lose weight, trim fat. That's it. But that's the main. That's side quest number one, is to trim the fat and gain muscle. Like the main goal is to lose weight, but there's like a bracket and it's a side quest. So it's basically like this, like just write it down. Lose weight, side quest, just trim down the fat. And then second, gain muscle. That's all. That's all you needed to do. It's 2 little things and 1 goal is to lose that, don't lose muscle, because that's not what you want to do. You want to gain it. And sometimes it's hard too, because sometimes you can, do your favorite workouts, right? And trust me, it happens to me all the time. All the time, I love to do a certain workout, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sore for this. I can't do it. I mean, I want to do it, but it's just that, I can't. Like, I'm like, my arms feel like jello, and my legs, my legs are like just killing me today. Well, I mean, if your arms feel like jello, then definitely do the legs. Don't do the arms, risk injury. But if your legs are sore, definitely do the arms, But if both things are sore, the best way is to recover, is to rest. And trust me, you will toss and turn like crazy. For me, I cannot stand resting. I'm like my mom yesterday, she's like, well, you need to rest, I was like, oh my God, I don't want to rest. I was so upset, not at her, but at myself. I was like, dude, do you know what I'm trying to do here, right? I'm trying to accomplish something that I haven't accomplished in a long, long time. And it's basically me trying to get it back into square one. And I'm doing so good. And it may not look like that on a scale, but it definitely looks better in the mirror. So I don't know which is which, but I'm going to try my hardest. And I'm going to work out so hard that in a few months from now, I'm going to lose a ton of weight. And I'm not going to be proud of myself, but other will be too. And they're going to look at this journey and they're going to say, Rose, you made it. You finally did it. And I'll be like, yes, I did. And I'm excited. And I'm telling other people that they can do it too. And it's going to be a hard journey for themselves, because it's very hard for me as well. But yeah, so I'm going to just end this right here. It's 9:06. I don't want to go home too late. My mom was already telling me about it, and I was like, I know. I'm not gonna stay till 12, and trust me, if I could do that, I would, but I unfortunately I can't. Man, my mom gets worried sometimes. So, all right, guys, I'll see you in the next bit. I'm gonna definitely look into some games, and like I said, it's kind of hard looking through some old games, especially since I only play like Xbox, and now the newer games are on the Series S or X. So now I had to figure it out. Like, I need to just save money to get a console, and it's so freaking weird. And I love it. I love the change, but oh my God. It's like combative. Like, I had to like defend every single move, like I have to get a new laptop, because as you can see earlier, I basically like have to like almost shut it down. Like I had to like pause it real quick, because it was running out of storage. And I'm like, okay, well, let me figure it out. Files, I deleted some other videos that I made, but it was just so weird, because it still showed like if it was still full. I'm like, okay, well, I don't know. I have to figure something out. Like, if I can look through trash and then I can clear it out, that'd be great. But it's just so crazy weird that I have to finally push myself to get a actual laptop, and yeah, sure, I could just buy it and then go to the actual store and get it, but I still have to go to a store and literally get it. I don't know. I'll tell you guys, if I figure something out. All right. I'm gonna leave this off here. It's 9:09, and yeah. All right, guys. Bye.